Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is What If Night 310. This is The Rise of a Legend, a Naruto story, part 3. Um, this, um, I guess, story was created by Ashura's Transmigrate. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Let's get back into it. Chapter 3, The Return to the Leaf. Previously, Zabuza turned back and saw the man whom he hated the most, uh, Gato. Why you? Well, the man he hated most now, Gato. Why you? Zabuza growled, clearly displeased about his betrayal. Sharingan no Kakashi, for now, let's call it a truce. I want to kill this man. Planting a kunai in his mouth, he rushed to Gato and his men. Gato screamed out of his wits ran to the end of the unfinished bridge, protected by his burly men. Let's go, Zabuza shouted, and slashed his way through the crowd with his kunai and Kiburabunchi, easily dismantled and hatched men. He reached Gato, despite suffering several injuries. Gato backed off in fear. He had just seen the demon of the mist slaughter all of his lackeys. No, don't kill me, I'll pay you. A low laughing sound came out of Zabuza's mouth. You won't buy me this time, and not forever. He shouted and grabbed his cleaver, uh, dissecting the tyrant Gato, or his corpse. Flew back and dropped into the depths of the water below. Zabuza collapsed onto one knee and turned to Team 7. My time is up. Thank you, blonde brat. You've let me see that Haku was more than just a tool. Though I hope that I can be in heaven with Haku, I know that's not possible. So, my last wish is to be buried with Haku. Of course, Naruto said solemnly. Kakashi sighed and placed his headband over his eye. Looks like we're done here. Looking back, they saw Sakura trying to revive a dead Sasuke. Groaning, he sat up, only to wince in pain to the sin bond still stuck in him. Sasuke-kun, you're alive, Sakura said, smiling. Humph, of course. Did you think that the Hunter Nin could ever get to me? In Uchiha Elite, Sasuke smirked. Though he was still smarting from the pain. Arrogant prick. He would have killed you if he wanted to, but he was against unnecessarily killing. He's just put you in a near-death state. Naruto defended his friend after a bit of observation. Okay, let's head back to the house after grabbing your stuff. Meet me at the doorstep, Kakashi ordered. Yes, sir. Team 7 scattered, and 5 minutes later, they met again. They then proceeded to help with the building through shadow clones and manual labor. Bye, Konoha-nin, and thank you for killing the tyrant, Tazuna said, and Sumi thanks them as well. Naruto-Nisan, thank you for your speech. Now I finally understand the importance of my family. Inara spoke up while hugging his grandfather and mother. Wow, don't think I would get to you that fast, Naruto commented, and with that they left the house for the bridge, which was complete and about to be named. The whole village was gathered and they were thinking about what name they should give. How about the Super Tazuna Bridge? The bridge builder suggested. Everyone groaned and the family sweat dropped. Tsusamari? said, "How about the Great Naruto Bridge?" After, uh, after as a bit of muttering, the villagers cheered and displayed their um, assent. "The Great Naruto Bridge it is," Tazen announced, and everyone applauded. Naruto gave his famous smile while Sasuke fumed as usual. "Great. Now we got a freaking bridge named after him. It should be the ultimate Uchiha bridge. That bastard." Team, let's leave, Naruto shouted, and sprang across the bridge to the border of Hinokun. Kakashi was just right behind him, while Sakura was struggling to catch up. Sasuke scowled and followed suit. 5 hours of traveling later, a deadbeat Sakura, seething Sasuke, intercents Naruto, and a calm Kakashi arrived at the Konoha Gate. The Eternal Guard, as they were dubbed, Izu and Katsun, cleared them through without much hassle. Despite being surprised to learn that it was a C-rank turn to an A-rank mission. Reporting at the Hokage's office, they all greeted Hokage-sama, well, except for Naruto, who went with his usual Hokage Gigi. "Report," came the voice of the Sadame, and Kakashi explained everything that had transpired. Without the time that they were going, within the time that they were gone from the leaf. "I see. So we shall collect payment after they become rich," the Hokage proclaimed. "Okay. All of you can leave except for Naruto." "Hi, Hokage-sama." Leaving the blonde, they went out the doors. "Nijiji, what did you want?" "I've heard from Kakashi that you were various miracles happened within the mission, like how he escaped Zabuza's water prison." "Water prison," Hiruzen explained. "And he said that he could feel this aura of power from you at that time. So please explain." "Shit," Naruto thought. "I think I should counter-ask him. Good idea. Tell him that you were only explained after he tells you who your parents are." Kurama suggested. "Gigi, I will explain, but first I want you to tell me who my parents were." The Hokage sighed and replied, "I'm afraid I can't tell you, Naruto-kun." Naruto smirked and said, "Why not? I have told you before, your parents have many enemies. It would be unsafe to reveal their identities until you become a Chunin." "Kagabuncho no Jutsu," Naruto shouted, and 2 clones burst into existence. From each the ram seal, they yelled, "Hin!" A poof of smoke later, and the smile visiting visage of Minato and Kushina appeared. The Anbu fell the roof were shocked to see their old Hokage while Saitama's jaw uh, Saitama's Sandame's jaw was trying to keep off the floor. He knew, Hiruzen thought. Gigi, why so surprised? If you study the seal clone enough, you realize that it seals parts of their soul into me. Come on, I've got something to show you." Place your hand on the Hokage's shoulder, which caused the Anbus to flinch. He said, "Clear your mind." Not being the professor for nothing, the Sandame was soon pulled into Naruto's mindscape. He was awed at the sheer amount of effort Naruto put in to make this place. "See that house? Let's go to the doorstep," Naruto said, and they both arrived there via Shisui. Knocking on the door, Kushina answered, though the Hokage was not really surprised considering what the blonde said earlier about the soul seal. "What a surprise, Hokage Dono." Kushina greeted and Minato arrived at the door. What are you doing here, Hiruzen Tani-sensei? Minato asked his predecessor and Grandmaster. Tosan, I'm showing him around, Naruto said, and displayed his Rasengan to the Sendaimyo, who was shocked. Did you say you took 2 days to master the Rasengan? And to think Minato-kun took 3 years to create it and master it. Tosan was creating it, and no one was there to guide him. Unlike me, Naruto tried to reason and pushed the credit back to his father, who was relieved. At 3 straight, I'll give you this, Minato said, and retrieved a scroll from his pocket. You have to perform a certain set of hand seals with the scroll in order to unseal the contents. So take it as an extra challenge. Taking the scroll from him, Naruto replied, Thank you, Tosan. Now I have to take Hokage Gigi to see my tenant. His parents nodded, knowing, while Hiruzen just seemed puzzled. Follow me, Naruto instructed, and brought him to the edge of the waterfall. Grabbing him, Naruto pulled both of them into the lake below. Ni, Kurama-chan, I'm here, Naruto called out, and the Saitama thought, Kurama-chan, who's that? The water current pardoned, and a lady in orange singlet and blue skirt stepped out while Hiruzen managed to hold in his nosebleeds. He questioned, Who is this, Naruto-kun? The lady laughed, and a bright light started emitting from her body. The ring shape transformed, and when it died down, the QB was revealed. The QB. No, you know. The Hokage was speechless. Transforming back into her original shape, she sat down in the middle of the lake, and water began swirling around her. Activating his Rinnegan, Naruto saw greenish chakra flow into her coils. Nature energy, huh? The Hokage looked into the lake and saw Naruto's reflection. More importantly, his eyes. Hi, Hokage Gigi. I possess the power of the Rinnegan. The Sendaimyo was just shocked beyond shock. How much did he not know about his grandson figure? Just to demonstrate, Kurama-chan throw a fireball at me, Naruto said, and she nodded. Fire chakra gathered into a big ball near her mouth, and she fired it at him. Shooting Tensei. An invisible wave shot from his palm, deflecting the fireball back at Kurama. Then he jumped in front of her and shouted, Pray to path. Jutsu absorption. A circle of energy enveloped him, and the moment the fireball hit the orb, it started getting sucked into Naruto's palms, replenishing his chakra. Impressive, the Hokage mused. Naruto winked at Kurama, who, over the past week, had been teaching him about the abilities of her old man's eyes. Hokage Gigi, the only thing I request is for confidentiality. Of course, the Sendaimyo agreed, but please tell me if there are such a thing as are such things in the future. He was pulled back into the real world. You're dismissed. Forming the hand seal of confrontation, he left. With Shisui. Though it was not a leaf, Shisui, an image of Naruto in a suit of shining gold armor appeared, followed by him with many weapons of all kinds. Then him as normal. Next he transformed into a fox. Then him in a very malnourished body. And lastly, as an eternal figure with a book and brush with a silver light, he was gone. Rainy Shisui, Naruto's voice echoed in the room. Returning home, he opened the fridge for a ramen cup. Just as he was about to pull it down on the table, he was tackled to the floor by a crying Yugito. For the next 5 minutes, an instant make-out session ensued. After having to stop for air, Yugito demanded, "I want the details now." Sighing, Naruto explained the whole mission. C rank turned to A rank. "I'm glad you're still alive," Yugito shouted. "You didn't trust your boyfriend's ability?" Naruto asked, giving a mock hurt expression. They laughed. "Alright, I guess you should rest for the afternoon after lunch," Yugito said, making a look that told him that it was in order. After some pudding ramen meals, he took a bath. Then, sleeping for the next 5 hours, he woke up to a weight on his chest, Yukito's head. Gently replacing her head on a pillow, he decided to leave the house for a training ground. He heard a mocking sound just before leaving by Rini Shisui. That said, "Pillow, don't go," he smirked. Right, Kurama-chan. Any new abilities you want to teach me?" Naruto thought. "Hi, I'll teach you the yin and yang style." The yin style is about the creation from things. For example, the Naruto clan's shadow manipulation is actually a use of yin chakra to create the shadow. In fact, almost all non-elemental jutsus use yin chakra, like genjutsu. Next, for yang style. It gives from life and vitality. Basically, things like medical ninjutsu require yang release to accelerate a cell's healing rate. But when one uses both, only Rinnegan users can. They can create the yin yang style, which creates from and gives life to. There is only one technique in existence, and it is the most powerful tool, the Banshu no Sozo, or creation of all things, is a result of breathing life with yang chakra into forms created with yin chakra. Now you have the note that yin chakra is just a lot of physical energy and a bit of spiritual energy, meanwhile yang chakra is vice versa. "Try it now," Kurama replied. Naruto began to try and mold yin chakra. He forced physical energy into his coil and then tried adding a bit of spiritual energy. His body tired to put more spiritual energy to equalize the equation and mold chakra. After all, that was the usual process. Give me a minute. But then he endured long enough and was rewarded with the sign of his body cloaking in black chakra. "Let's see, how about creating a bird?" He manifested the yin chakra into a shape of a pigeon, and with the administration of his imagination, the pigeon appeared, colored and everything, but it might as well have been a statue. Now he decided to remove the yin chakra. "Alright, let's try yang chakra." Meditating a bit, he placed spiritual energy into his coil, then placed just a tiny bit of physical energy. He felt the urge to put in more. Gritting his teeth, a cloak of white chakra surrounded him. Then he put yang chakra into the bird state. The pigeon came to life and flew away. Okay, so that's it. Kurama said, "You've just learned yin and yang style. Now try doing both at once." Naruto grimaced that about taking a lot out of him. "Wait, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu!" A clone burst into existence. "You make yin chakra?" I'll make yang chakra. Naruto ordered. After doing so, he tried putting their hands together. The white and black chakra began joining and forming a gray-colored one. Okay, now a frog. The chakra changed into the shape of said animal, and it hopped away. I think I did it, Kurama-chan, Naruto explained. The next few hours were spent on basic physical training. Upon returning to the house, Yugito was already up and preparing dinner. When she saw Naruto, she pouted, causing him to almost die from cuteness overload. Dinner's almost ready. Take a shower first, Yugito said, and Naruto complied. When he came out, the table was filled with plates of dishes of all kinds. There was almost a cannibal on the center of the light were dims. Oh, there was also a candle on the center of the light, and the lights were dim. Take this as our first date. The dinner carried on in comfortable silence, and the couple was generally just enjoying the other person. When did you learn to cook like this? My mom, she died, Yugito replied sadly. Oh, sorry, Naruto consoled. After finishing the dinner, both washed the dishes and uh, re- retired to the bed upon brushing teeth. Uh, that was quite the first date, Naruto commented. Yeah, now get here, pillow, Yukiko shouted playfully. Naruto laughed and lay down on the bed. She rested her head on his chest, and that's how they remained for the rest of the night. The next day, morning, beautiful, Naruto greeted as he rose. There was a knock on the door, and answering it, he found Kakashi with a letter in his hand. Meeting at Training Ground 7. I've got an important news. Naruto asked what news. Kakashi gave a simple reply. Tuning exams. That is the end of chapter 13. Hope you all enjoyed that chapter. Let's go into chapter 14. Tuning exams. First test. Previously, Kakashi gave a simple reply. Tuning exams. Okay, gotta go now. Hein. Gotta go now. Hein, tuning exams, Naruto shouted to the bedroom. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Hein, Naruto and Kakashi body flickered to Training Ground 7, where Sakura and Sasuke were waiting. Alright, as you all know, I've nominated you people for the tuning exams. You can choose if you want to go or not. And if you do, report to room 302 at the academy in a week's time at 8 a.m. sharp. Naruto said, of course I'll go. Sakura just agreed, and Sasuke just agreed. He didn't want to still be a genin when Naruto became a Chunin. Sakura, as usual, went with her Sasuke-kun's decision. And so for the next week, he spent every day deep in training until Yugito called him back to the house. The first 3 days, he sought to perfect his taijutsu style by smoothing out the flaws. The next 2 days, Naruto practiced his ninjutsu, and for the last two, his Rinnegan abilities. And it had been a rough week, and Team 7 met at Training Ground 7 as planned earlier. Let's go, Naruto shouted, and they jumped through the trees to their old school. After climbing a flight of stairs, they saw a sign proclaiming room 302. The first number of the room is based on the floor it is on. In the class, in the class was the third. We only climbed one flight of stairs, so this much was a genjutsu to weed out the loser once. Let me check, Naruto thought as he discreetly activated his Rinnegan with the crowd all uh, focused on two Genin blocking the door. The sign spun in Red Room 202. The two Genin were actually Imuku and Kamatsu. Then, out of the corner of his eyes, he noticed Sasuke opening his mouth in slow motion. Must be pinning his trap about the genjutsu. Need to get him to shut up quickly, Naruto thought. Boomajutsu. Boom Kage. A sound barrier, he whispered and thought his Rinnegan. Witness as his chakra surrounded the unsuspecting Sasuke. Hmm? They think they can get us with such a simple genjutsu? My Sharingan can see through their crap, Sasuke yelled, not knowing that only Naruto could hear him. He um, motioned for the rest of Team 7 to follow them while deactivating his Rinnegan. Neji Hyuga and his team, the weapons specialist Tintin, and the young guy Lee left with Team 7 as well. Naruto noticed his Byakugan, so he presumed that he figured it out. At the third floor, Team 7 was greeted by the sight of Kakashi, whose eyes smiled, saying, "Well, I'm glad you all made it." Sakura responded, "Why, what did you mean, you all? If any one of you were not entered the exams with your other teammates, you all are uh, barred from entering." Naruto nodded. Teamwork. Well, wish us good luck for the first exam, Kakashi said. Uh, wish us luck for the first exam. Kakashi said and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Entering room 302, they noticed the other Genin already there. When Hinata noticed him, she was shocked at first, thinking him dead. Then she looked down in embarrassment. So you're here, Naruto-kui, Yugito teased. I thought you would never make it, Naruto laughed. I have no need for the lack of confidence in my abilities. Oh, and by the way, Fujukai, the chakra enveloped Sakura and removed, and he finally stared at Naruto. Did you just... Yep, Sasuke stared at him. You Fumajutsu Bun Kagemi, Naruto repeated, and once again Sasuke was falling on deaf ears. Yugito snickered. Meanwhile, Sakura and Ino were bickering over Sasuke again. A silver-haired Konohanin walked to them and said, "I suggest keeping your volume down. You people do not want to be targeted to these people." Naruto looked around the room, and indeed everyone was staring at them. "Who are you?" Naruto asked. "But I'm the one asking. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I'm Yakishi Kabuto. I have info on every Genin here today." "With these," he replied and pulled out a deck of cards. "Just tell me who." Naruto sensed a giant source of chakra and killing intent directed towards him. From the middle of the room, his eyes landed on a redhead Sannin. "Him," Naruto pointed. Picking up a card, words and pictures began surfacing on the blank face. Sabaku no Gara, getting of sand, and the Yodame Kazekage's youngest child. His team members are Samuro no Tamari and Sabano Kankuro, his siblings. He has completed 30 D ranks and 13 C ranks. Interesting to note, he has never even been hurt, ever. "Oh dear," Kurama spoke up. "My insane brother Shikaku Ichu no Tanuk, he has a Jinchuriki? No wonder, Naruto thought. I want your blood, Uzumaki. You will prove my existence, Gaara shouted across the room. Oin, Oyaku, Naruto replied, causing everyone around him to burst into pearls of laughter. Seriously, good morning? Haha, Kabuto. I want to know about haha Uzumaki Naruto, Kiba requested while laughing. Fumajutsu no Kabu, Naruto whispered. Kabuto, I would prefer to keep my information a secret. Look at him, Kabuto nodded and replaced his deck in his pocket. Fumajutsu Kai. Both Sasuke and Kabuto were unmuted. So Kabuto took the chance to speak. This year sees the most number of Konoha teams, but look at the new village. Oh, they probably won't be much. A few Nin looked up at them and he charged forth with their weird gauntlets. Suddenly, Kabuto began to clutch his head in pain. What are they doing to him? Wait, sound, that's why they are called uh, Ota. So their gauntlets produce sound which distorts vision and causes pain, Naruto deduced. He looked at Yugito, and she nodded, probably thinking the same. All right, maggot, sit down and shut up. The test will begin in a few minutes. A bald man stepped into the room. I'm the proctor for the first test, Ibuki Morini, head of the interrogation and torture department in Konoha. You have 1 hour to finish the writing test, after which the 10th question will be given. As multiple Kononin handed out their papers, he continued, cheating will be seriously punished if you are caught. It's over for you and your team. Okay, now that everyone has the papers, your time begins now. Naruto flipped the page and briefly scanned through the questions. Those questions were meant for Jonin. What the hell? What were they doing in a tuning test unless this was a test of information gathering? He smirked. By the looks of it, some people had yet to figure it out. Yugito already scribbling away as well as him. Sure was smart, him. Him sure was a smart one. He looked around secretly and noticed some of the test takers were actually tuning. He noticed Sasuke with his Sharingan, lamely copying a Chuni's hands motion with his pin. The Hyuga Kansu were using their Byakugan, so it seemed that everybody with a dojutsu was using them. Using the Buji plane, he got the answers from Matatabi and Kurama. 15 minutes later. Alright, time's up, maggots. Put your pins down before I break your hands, Ibuki shouted, causing the beginning to wince. Time for the tenth question, but first you have an option to take the question. If you do, your whole team fails. Um, then, then of course we'd take the bloody question, Kiba yelled. However, if you get the question wrong, you can never retake the tuning exams ever, Ibuki declared with a sadistic smile. Mutters began spreading through the room. Teams began leaving. Naruto bidded his team till there were 10 teams left. Raising his hand, he slammed it on the desk. Of course we'd take the last question. If we don't, the course to move on, we don't deserve to be tuning anyway. Even if I fail this question, I'll still be the first Genin to be the Hokage. Everyone in the room was inspired by his speech, and they remained in the room. Looking around the room, he said, "No one else? In that case, you all pass." They were almost shocked, they almost yelled, "What the?" when a ball flew into the classroom, breaking the window in unrevealed, revealing a giant poster with the four kunai in a corner, pinning the poster effectively. Luckily, Ibuki sidestepped instinctively, so he managed to narrowly avoid being pincered. The poster read, "The sexy and single proctor of the second test, Mitsuchi Anko," said woman in grinning, just like Ibuki. "Anko, you're early again," Ibuki commented from behind the poster. "Aw, look at these maggots. I just wanted to play with them early, couldn't I?" Anko said seductively to Ibuki. The Genin in the room blushed, but Naruto knew for sure play definitely didn't mean fun. That is the end of chapter 14. Okay, chapter 15. The Chunin exam's second test. Previously, the Genin in the room blushed, but Naruto knew for sure play definitely didn't mean fun. Alright, I'm giving you all 10 minutes to get to training ground 44. Any team not there by then will be disqualified. Uncles said, then body flickered away. Grabbing her cat princess his hand, Naruto followed suit and Rini Shiswind. The snake lady was surprised to see the fox brat and the girl from Kumo. Really, most Guinean can't even do Shiswind, Uncle commented. You learn something new every day, said Naruto. The other Guinean arrived, and when they did, she explained the rules. Each team will get a scroll, heaven or earth. Your objective is to get the other scroll and make it to the tower in the middle of the forest within 5 days. You cannot open the scroll until then, and if you do, and if any of your members are not present, you fail. Everyone left to sign the waiver and received their scrolls. After splitting into 10 different entrances, the green light was given. "Let's go," Naruto shouted, and Team 7 dashed into the forest, knowing they got an Earth Scroll. After finding a river, he urged Sasuke and Sakura to set up camp. "This is our best chance. In an hour we'll break camp and reassemble somewhere else. For now, I'll go scouting." Running around, Naruto found a high spot at the top of the tree. There was quite a few teams left. Neji's team, Yukito's team, Shikamaru's team, and even Kiba's team. There were two sound teams on one Kiri team left. It appears one of the sound teams were approaching the camp at high speeds. "Shit," he muttered, and returned immediately, in the time to hear a call of "Futo, Dayapa?" Sasuke reached with a Kanto Jutsu, so it was fine, until it was revealed that the person he had hit was a mud clone. The secret of snakes, Naruto thought. "Orochimaru, show yourself." "I see, Naruto-kun, you are a bright one." "But I'm here for Sasuke-kun," the snake sounding hissed. Team 7 briefly engaged him in taijutsu. Sasuke even activated his Sharingan. Team 7 could hold their own, but they needed extra power to beat him. Even when Sasuke gained his second Toma, time to up the game, Naruto thought. His blue irises expanded and warped into concentric rings with a purple hue. Shinra Tensei. Orochimaru was blown back without knowing what had happened. "Omochi, you are going down." Bunsho Tinin. Orochimaru paled. He didn't know what was happening to him. Naturally, energy sucking into a spiral formed the formidable jutsu known as the Rasengan. Slamming it into the snake son uh, laughed as he melted into mud. "You almost got me." But he didn't even have a chance to finish the sentence as another Rasengan slammed into the real deal. How could I get beaten by a mere guinea? Little did he know, Naruto was already bordering Kage level. Suddenly, his neck extracted, and he bit Sasuke on the neck, leaving a mark behind. "When you need power, come to me, Uchiha Sasuke," Orochimaru said before body flickering away to tend to his injuries. Deactivating his Rinnegan, Naruto rushed forward to Sasuke. If you were wondering what Sakura was doing the whole time, she was just watching the whole scene in shock. For the rest of the day, no one attacked him. But the next morning, an Oto team appeared. "Looks like we're in luck, Ken," a man said, referring to the state Team 7 was in. Sasuke unconscious, Naruto respirating, and Sakura standing guard. The girl identifying as Ken said, "Let's get them, Zaku." Raising their gauntlets, they fired off sound waves, or tried to. Naruto, having evaluated their skills earlier, set up a sound barrier around them. He figured Pain and Oto Nin sneered. Slowly he inched his way to them before defeating them without much hassle. Seeing as they had a heaven scroll, he carried Sasuke on his back and left for the tower with Sakura. "Congratulations, you are the second team to make it here, after the Suna team." Iruku appeared after Naruto unsealed the scroll. "You all can rest for the next 3 days." After Sakura left to her bunk, Naruto carried Sasuke to the control room. "Excuse me, I would like to speak to Anko." "Yes, Kaki, what do you want?" Anko asked, slightly annoyed. "We encountered Orochimaru in—" "What?" Anko practically shrieked. "Anyway, he bit Sasuke dim, and now he has a curse seal on him. But it looks of it," Naruto said. "I would like to remove it from him." "Are you crazy? Even I have it," Anko said, and revealed her curse seal. "I am a level 15 seal master, and this is only a level 8 curse seal. It appears that Orochimaru implants part of his soul into the seal, and when the user uses the seal power, it makes Orochimaru addicted to it, until Orochimaru takes full control of them." Anko was shocked. The description was perfect. "I could help remove it from you too." "Of course." Anko led Naruto into a sealing room, and he placed the Uchiha on the square mat. Grabbing a brush from the storage seal, he began placing the seal array around him. Lighting a few candles, he placed them around Sasuke and began forming can seals. "Jutsu Kai," Naruto yelled. The candles began burning at a fast pace, and the wax landed on the seal around, which glowed with power. The seal array began covering on Sasuke and crawling to the curse seal. The three Toma making the surrounding by Naruto's seal array, and they formed a circle around it. The whole seal glowed, and the curse seal placed off his skin. "This hurts, but I wish he was conscious to feel it," Naruto said satisfactorily. "You sure you want to do it?" "Well, I'm sexually aroused by pain, so I guess." "Yes," Uncle replied. Naruto repeated the process, and when the three left the room, All were free of curfews. Later that day, the other teams arrived one by one. When Yugito's team arrived, he placed a kiss on his lover's neck. How about a date at 7 tonight, top floor? Naruto suggested, smirking. She replied, but be there or be square. He left for training, factually to practice some more jutsu. In the room, he came across chart describing basic jutsus and the academy hand seals. Wait, what if Naruto withdrew a scroll from his altar and threw it into the air with chakra? The ceiling was high, so it took about 10 seconds for it to fall back into Naruto's hand, which was all he needed. Ni, u, toru, u, tamatsu mi, uni, hitsu, sora, tori, ino, I, he said while completing the hand seals according to the chart's given orders. After the pig hand seal, he clasped the scroll between his palms. The line along the scrolls glowed, and it rode wide open. On the interface was a seal array. A normal storage one, in fact. The ink started shimmering and produced a bright light. When it died down, Naruto saw a set of 10 oddly shaped kunai. They were three-pronged like a fork, and their handles were anything but ordinary. Unlike the usual leather grip, the handles had wooden grips with a sealing formula inscribed upon each one. Then he noticed a piece of paper next to them, titled "The Rule of the Unsage of the Hydration." He was shocked. Was this his father's prize technique? Quickly scattering through the paper, he found that it outlined activated of the sealing formula in range of use. Tosan, you are sure about this? He questioned. Hi, I actually planned to give this technique to you when you became a Jonin, Minato replied. But now that I see your progress, I can tell you may be beginning in rank, but cog in heart, mind and power. All, Alright, Tosan, I will treasure this gift, Naruto said. Additionally, there was a key, but he couldn't find anything to fit it in, so he decided to just start training. After reading the paper 5 times, he got to work. After 3 hours, he could already travel from kunai to another, though. He needed to take 10 seconds break before he could do it again. The progress he soaked it up like a sponge. Minato thought after another few hours he could travel between 10 Haraishin kunai without stopping. It was then he realized how tired he was. After all, he had trained for 7 hours non-stop. He took a drink from his canteen that he unsealed from his storage seal. It was then that his father said, "You know, if you replace the Hiraishin seal on the handle, you can go anywhere. Not just where the kunai are. All you have to do is flare your chakra when you need to apply it to a surface. Then it will stick to that surface, or else touching anything else without your hand will cause the seal to be applied." Naruto facepalmed. Why didn't he think about it? It's horrible. Kushina shouted from the mindscape. Oh, but you sure didn't mind, Minato said, and a make-out session ensued within the house, which Naruto had cut off contact to earlier to give them privacy. Soon it was 7. Grabbing his supplies, Naruto sealed the kunai back and left for the roof. A minute later, his girlfriend stepped in. Hope I didn't keep you waiting long, Yukito apologized. No, I just came. Let's start, said Naruto, but Naruto, who pulled out a large pierce mat and placed it on the flat part of the roof, taking out a basket and placing it between them as they sat down and removed a sandwich. You really thought this through, didn't you? The stealing food into your storage seal didn't really seem like a last-minute plan. It was, Naruto lied. Grabbing an apple, he passed it to Yugito, who bit into it gracefully. He then unsealed a blanket which he placed around Yugito and commented, "It's sunset." She looked up and pushed her blonde bangs away. It was indeed a beautiful sunset. The sky was purple and multiple streaks of orange lanced her fingers with his. She sighed. "How I wish we could stay like this forever." "Don't we all?" Naruto replied. Grabbing a piece of cheese, he slowly bit off a piece and handed it to her. She passed it back after eating her share, and then they repeated this until the cheese was no more. Yugito looked at her wide blue eyes and looked at his wide blue eyes and leaned in. How he did so as well, and their lips met. After a good 15 seconds, they broke apart. "Well, I guess that ends it. See you tomorrow," Naruto said and packed up. "I'm working on a new jutsu, but you only see it in the third test," Naruto promised. "Sound interesting. Good luck, Naruto-kui." Yukito replied and left. The fifth day. By the end of the fifth day, he had mastered traveling with Hirishin like Sunshin without exhaustion. Yugito had also been training in her cat powers and taijutsu. Everyone packed up and left for the third test. When they arrived, they were surprised not to be at the Konoha Stadium, but at a giant sparring room. Due to the abnormally large number of genin completing the second test, we have decided to hold a preliminary session, the Hokage announced on the top of his spot at the high platform. At the back of the room, there was a giant statue of the Sindami's hands forming the Hitsuji hand seal. "I'm the proctor for the third exam, Geki Hayugeti, and the match will commune within 5 minutes," a man with brown hair declared. "But before that, would anyone like to withdraw?" "Gaki-san, I would like to withdraw," Kabuto said and left the room. So did his team members. The remaining 21 people left for the top observation platform. Alright, the first match, Uchiha Sasuke versus Hyuga. That is the end of this chapter. So on to chapter 16. Hope you all have enjoyed this so far. Okay, chapter 16. The Chunin exams, third test. Previously, alright, the first match, Uchiha Sasuke versus Hyuga Mine Hajime. Mina? The two Konoha ninjas stepped onto the training ground. Sasuke activated Sharingan, while Mina simply looked at him with her pale purple eyes. He rushed forward with the intercorp first, and just as he was about to strike, a shout of Byakugan occurred. She easily parried his strike and delivered some of her own. Well, obviously it was called the intercepting fist for nothing. He tried to intercept her finger strikes, only resulting in severe pain when he did. He was thrown back and he waved his hand seal, snake, ram, monkey, pig, horse, tiger, and delivered his famous fire jutsu, Kakukotsu no Jutsu. Mina dodged quickly, though some small flames still pricked her skin. "Hinata-san, permission to use ninjutsu?" Hinata gave her consent, and Minto shouted, Soto Kanon Jutsu, Black Rain Jutsu. Oil-like drops started falling on Sasuke. He sneered. What's this gonna do? Make me dirty? She smiled. No, just returning the favor. Uh, Koton no Jutsu. The oil served as an oculus, spreading the flames towards Sasuke, who merely dodged it but did not notice that he was covered in oil. The fire was spreading towards him. Koton Kirino Inden, he shouted hurriedly. The flames reversed and spread around Mina. Seeing no way as the flames closed in, she conceded defeat. Uchiha Sasuke wins. Next match, Inazuki Kim versus Amuro Mashino. Kim jumped down from the platform while Shin took the stairs. Hey, Jime. It would be so easy to crush you, bug boy, Kim taunted. Shino remained expressionless, saying, I would think so if I were you, Inazuka-san. She suddenly had a weird feeling. Was this chakra depletion? Her partner, Mimaruga, barked. Jojo Taijutsu Gai. Man-beast secret technique. Art. Taijutsu art. Fang passing Fang. Kim yelled as she and her dog ran forward while spinning like a tornado. The twisting tornado hit Shin right in the gut, sending him flying back. She was tired, very tired, and her chakra continued depleting. Was it gone? What was going on? Keiichi Inazuka-san, Keiichi. A voice came from behind her. She turned around and got kicked all the way to the other side of the stadium, unconscious. Apparently, the Shino she had used the Katsugi on was a bug clone. Aburane Shino wins. Next match, Sabuka no Kamui versus Abui Zaki Hajime. Zaku smirked. You won't last long against my sound with your makeup and cat suit. For the last time, it's war paint. Let's begin. Korono related Zaru's fire. Zaku fired off soundwaves at the puppeteer, who dodged nimbly and fired off his puppets at the opponents. Those names are Zaku and Kankuro. I'm an idiot. Zaku fought with them with his taijutsu obviously having an upper hand. He slowly works his way to the puppeteer, punching him in the face. Surprisingly, the whole head detached from his body and flew back. That was my favorite puppet, you know, the real Kankuro said from behind him. Black Ant, let's go. Deftly raising his finger in a particular fashion, his biggest puppet, identified as Black Ant, spun and flew upward, striking Zaku skywards as well. The torso snapped open and trapped Zaku within. Crow. Kankuro gestured the blade, gestured to the beheaded puppet, and it split into 8 parts, flying up to meet Black Ant. Shutting his fingers and 8 blades parts entered slits in Black Ant's torso, causing a loud scream. He waved his hand downwards, and the whole contraption landed on the floor. Karuki Kiki Inspata, Secret Black Art, Iron Maiden. The head of the crow came flying down, its neck a shaped black tip, which entered the top of Black Ant's torso. The now completely impaled Zaku screamed a very manly scream as the whole thing's torso limped and head exploded, killing the Otonin. The slightly disgusted
Hayate announced, Sabuko no Kankuro wins. Up next, Haruno Sakura versus Yamanaka Ino. They look at each other and smirk. Winner gets Sasuke Jun. You're on. Sasuke gave a what the hell look uh, as his love life was put on the table for two women to gamble, both of who he disliked. Hajime, the two girls stared at each other intensely. They began by engaging in taijutsu and shuriken jutsu. Then Ino cut her hair and scattered it all over the floor, saying that she wouldn't need her hair to be a kunoichi. Then she formed the hand seals for the clan's special technique, mind body switch jutsu. Sakura to Sakura, to her credit, recognized it and listed its flaw. When you use the jutsu, you launch your own spear straight in a straight line to the opponent. However, if you miss, your body is left defenseless. I don't care. Nippo Signal Jutsu. Ninja Art. Mind Body Switch. She turned limp and Sakura said, that was a poor choice, you know. She tried moving, but her feet seemed stuck. The limp, strutted, yeah, strutted her back and laughed. Using chakra, I have created bonds with my hair to bind you. A billboard brow, and now Nippo Shikura no Jutsu. Ino formed the real hand seals, and this time Sakura's spirit was kicked out of her body. Ino was just about to make Sakura forfeit when Inner Sakura kicked her out of the body and reclaimed position. They finally punched each other, each one after rushing at each other, knocking both of them out. Since neither contestant are able to continue, neither of the two will proceed to the finals. Next match, Sabuko no Tamari versus Tintin. Hajime. Tintin unsealed her weapons and flung them at Tamari, who simply withdrew her fan, opened it, and swung it at the incoming projectiles in a fluid motion. This repeated multiple times, and every single one resulted in the weapons deflecting by Tamari's winning jutsu. I wanted to save this for the finals, but I guess I'll have to use it now, Tintin declared while putting out two scrolls from her pocket. Placing them on the floor parallel to her, one on each side, she performed the hand seals. Tiger, dragon, monkey, rabbit, snake. She then crossed her arms and shouted, Sogu Soshuru, weapon control, twin rising dragon. A giant smoke screen covered the area, and two smoke dragons flew up near Tintin's area. She twisted like a double helix. Then it was revealed that the two dragons were actually giant storage scrolls. She jumps up to the top of the DNA-like pattern. Then she spun like a tornado while flinging out weapons towards Tamari. She lifted the fan and shielded herself with it, having no time to do her winning jutsu. When the barrage finally stopped, Tamari said, it's time to end this. Futon Kukuno Jutsu. Wind Sight Jutsu. A tornado picked up around Tintin and carried her up. Next, she was cut viciously by multiple wind blades. Finally, she collapsed to the floor, unconscious. Hetty sweat-dropped at the one-sided battle and declared, Sabuku no Tamari wins. Abamaki Choji versus Ni Yugito. Hajime. As you probably guessed, he was beaten into the ground. Ni Yugito wins. Up next, Inazuka Kibo versus Uzumaki Naruto. This was going to be an interesting fight. That is the end of chapter 16. Now we're going to chapter 17. So yeah, the rise of a legend. Chunin exams. Previously, the this way going to this was going to be an interesting fight. Naruto grinned and stepped into the arena floor. This is going to be fun, Naruto declared, and Kiba said, "Not for you, though. It's payback time for all those months ago." Hajime Kiba immediately shouted, "Nippo, Shiraku no Jutsu, Ninja Heart, four-legged jutsu." He got down on all fours, and his fingernails lengthened and his teeth grew like his name, Fang. He charged Naruto, who stopped there, not moving, when Kiba finally impaled Naruto with his claws. Naruto shimmered and reappeared 5 meters to the left. Tisk, tisk. Bad vision, Kiba, Naruto taunted. Why you, he muttered. Kiba rushed towards Naruto again, though this time Naruto jumped up slightly and did a back kick. Naruto landed on his hands, then sprung away as Kiba was sent spiraling at the other end of the wall. Let's go, Akamaru, Kiba shouted to his dog, which barked in response. He popped what Naruto recognized as a soldier pill into his partner's mouth. They started growling. Jutsu Tegungai Geku. Having observed its effectively early, he whispered, Shinara Tensei. The pair flew back and slammed against the wall. Did you want to forfeit Kiba? Naruto glared at him with his killer intent, not even using his his tense one. Despite this, Kiba was shivering, but he gave a response. No, Kiba muttered. You forced my hand then. A giant blue orb appeared in Naruto's right hand. Kiba could only watch in awe as the ball expanded. It was only now he knew that for the whole match Naruto had only toyed with him. Naruto slammed the ball, ending the match. The proctor announced, Uzumaki Naruto wins. Next match, Hyuga Hinata versus Hyuga Neji. Neji smirked at Hinata from the spot at the stands, while Hinata thought to herself, if Naruto can do it, so can I. In the end, the match ended like canon, Hinata on the verge of death, and Neji smirking. Naruto glared at him. What makes you think you have the right to call her a weakling? She is a weakling. There's no other way to say it, Neji replied, almost causing Naruto to activate his Rinnegan and extract his soul with the the human path. Why, you just watch out, Hyuga Neji. During the finals, I will kick your ass, Naruto declared, finally calming down because of Yukito. He entered the medical bay, hearing the doctor say, she has no more chance of living. I may be able to help, Naruto said from behind. They turned around in response. What makes you think you can do what we couldn't? Just trust me, Naruto said, entering the ward, but you'll have to leave. They sighed and complied. Sealing the door with his demonic chakra, he activated the Rinnegan. Looking down at Hinata. I've never tried this before, but here goes nothing. Jugoku Naraka path. Purple flames appeared behind him, and a giant herd sprouted out from it. It opened its mouth wide, and a tongue shot out from it. It wrapped around Hinata. Though she whimpered in fear, she was comforted by Naruto's presence. Though she was still guilty of almost killing him, not knowing that she actually did. It's pulling Hinata into its cavern-like mouth, and after a minute, I replaced Hinata in the ward's bed, fully recovered. I'm sorry for not, Hinata. I will have to wipe your most recent memories. Her apostolic eyes looked into his dojutsu, and he recalled this in awe. That was the last thing she remembered before being pulled into very, very deep sleep. Leaving the room, he nodded to the medics and said, "When she wakes up, she should be fine." When he left the medical ward, he saw Lee on a stretcher. On the way in, where he re entered the arena, Hayate announced, due to no one able to have a match with Narma Shikamaru, he automatically proceeded to the finals, which will occur in a month's time. Until then, you are all dismissed. Shikamaru sighed, what a drag. Uh, Lacing his fingers with his uh, lover, he body flickered away to his house. She laughed. What's your plan for the finals, Naruto-kun? I don't have a plan yet. Let's take a nap first. After 3 hours rest, Yukito woke up to the sound of the doorbell. She groaned and slid out of her spot next to Naruto. Who the hell was at this hour? It was freaking 5 in the evening. The Guinean should be resting. If it was not the Hokage or Ranbu, she would murder the person behind the door. When she opened the door, both sides were equally surprised. Yukito met who she recognized as the sage Jiraiya. Meanwhile, Jiraiya was slightly unnerved. Why was the Niba Jinchuriki in his godson's house? Or even Konoha? Was she here to kidnap him? After all, she was a Kuma Jonin. It was if that was so. Rasengan! Dry slammed the blue orb into Yukito's stomach. Or tried to. His Rasengan was met with another similar size and power. What the? Rasengan? Naruto shouted, and the next thing expanded and exploded, throwing Jiraiya back. Picking himself up, he looked at Naruto through. He was shocked beyond measure. The blonde was sporting the exquisite dojutsu, radiating with an aura of power. And did he just perform the Rasengan? Better yet, he had he overpowered his? Speak before I put you out. Pull out your soul and feed it to the king of hell. Now, Naruto demanded. Calm down, Naruto-kun. I'm Jiraiya of the Sanin, and my sensei is Sandama and requested me to teach you. And something about surprise, Jiraiya explained in a breath, fearing for his life for the very first time. He had no doubt that Naruto would carry out what he just threatened if he didn't comply. I didn't see why I should accept training from a random guy like you who attacked my girlfriend, but I see that since Hokage Gigi requested this, I will accept. But if you do it again, I will literally feed your soul to the king of hell, Naruto replied. Jiraiya sighed in relief. So let's start by learning about your abilities, Jiraiya asked while thinking about Naruto calling Yukito his girlfriend. Fugu no Jutsu, Bonkichi, Naruto shouted and surrounded his chakra around the trio. I propose I possess the wind, earth, and water nature, though my Rinnegan allows me the other two. I can make use of the Rinnegan's power through not the full extent. I can utilize three of the the six paths, being the Diva path, Guku, and and Jikoru. I can do the Rasengan and other various variations included, but not limited to the Odama Rasengan and the Rasengan Barrage. I have the personal taijutsu style, and my taijutsu and ninjutsu and genjutsu aided with my Rasengan, are low Kage level. Additionally, I'm a level 15 Seal Master. I can use the Kage no Bunshin Jutsu, and currently I am working on the Hiraishin, Naruto explained, and Jiraiya was awestruck. I'm aware of my parents and I'm able to speak to them through my mindscape. I can also speak to the QB through my mindscape and tap on her power. Now, Fujutsu Kai. Now that Yugito had the full list of his abilities, she was surprised at how much she didn't know. Jiraiya said, "Very well. I will train you in Senjutsu, the sage art, and let you sign the Toad summoning contract. The very one your father had. Let's go to a training run." "Okay, I know where. Just hold on to me," Naruto said, and in a yellow flash did the Hiraishin to his favorite training run. "Firstly, I want to sign the contract," Jiraiya said to Naruto, still aware at the Hiraishin, and took the giant scroll off his back and opened it with his blood. On the scroll there was various slots, and in the first two were Jiraiya and Namikaze Minato, with their respective handprints of blood. Following their example, he used the kunai and slit his finger while writing his name. He then used the blood on each finger to imprint his fingerprint. Uh, the the wand the wound healed quickly due to Kurama and his Uzumaki health factor. However, some blood dripped into the edge of the scroll. Naruto sighed. This was a messy process. It seems like the scroll uh, receded, ugh, reached to his blood, because the unrolled portion revealed a blood seal that glowed. When the light died down, he saw a keyhole. He came to a conclusion. That was the keyhole he was looking for, with that would fit the key. That is the end of chapter 17. Going to chapter 18, the training. Previously, he came to a conclusion. That was the keyhole he was looking for that would fit the key, his key. Taking out his key, he spotted it and twisted it. The scroll unraveled, revealing a new layer of scrolls, but instead the word Gamma, they were replaced by the words Kairin. Inserting Naruto's news and smeared his blood again. Meanwhile, Jiraiya and Yugito looked in shock. Was that the legendary Kirin summon contracts, supposedly lost for the past 200 years? Okay, now let's try Kukuno Jutsu, Summoning Jutsu. The hand seals are boar, dog, rooster, monkey, ram. Jiraiya continued. Alright, Nippon Kono Jutsu, Ninja Art, Summoning Jutsu. Two toads appeared who introduced themselves as Gamikitsu and Gamikatsu. "So you're the new summoner, I guess. Well, my younger brother and I are your personal summons then," Gamikitsu explained. To summon our father, you have to use a lot more chocolate than that. By the way, do you have candy?" Gamikitsu asked. "As a matter of fact, I do," Naruto said, pushing up his sleeves, revealing a sword seal. As he unsealed a bag of sweets, giving it to Gamikitsu, Yukito gave him a questioning look. "I don't eat just ramen, you know," Naruto said, and poured chakra into his next move. Kinu, Nimpo, Kinno Jutsu, a giant puff of smoke later, and the boss summon of the toads connected. Gamikitsu appeared. "Where are you, Jiraiya? There's nothing to fight here," Gamapiti shouted, looking around. Jiraiya raised his hand in a defensive manner and said, "I didn't summon you, Bunta. That boy did." "Ha ha, is this a joke? It's not funny," Gamakichi bellowed, though he noticed that, indeed, Naruto's hands were bloody, uh, compared to Jiraiya's wound-free hands. Wait, the blood looked familiar. If the Namikaze boy Is the Namikaze boy that you always wanted to let sign the contract? Kamikichi asked. Hi, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. Nice to meet you, Naruto said. Good manners as well. But just because you summoned me doesn't mean I'll accept you. You will have to go through a test, staying on my back for the whole day. If you even fall off once, I'm erasing your name from the contract boy. Naruto frowned and said, Let's begin. Jumping onto Kamikichi's slippery back, he activated his Rinnegan, forcing chakra to his speed and using Bashin Tinin to successfully keep himself on Gumaki for 2 hours, who was jumping and flopping the whole time in an attempt to throw off Naruto. Hell, I'll accept you. You didn't even move an inch since I started, Kamikichi commented, panting hard. When the boy got off the boss toad's back, Kamikichi noticed the Rinnegan. Is that the eye? Yep. Uh, should you accept? Should have accepted you earlier, Kamikichi said, causing Naruto, Dry, and Yugito to sweat drop. It's already 8. Let's have dinner, Yugito said with, Will do. But one more thing, Nimpo. Kuto no Jutsu, Naruto said while bringing his thumb and channeling almost half his chakra into the summon seal. A ray appeared on the floor, glowing golden instead of the usual black. A Kirin burst into existence looking at Naruto. It had the body of a lion and was the size of a horse. Its eyes were gold while the body was pure white. No one had summoned me for the past 200 years, so you're the new summoner, Uzumaki Naruto. Hi, I'm your personal summons Jinki. Pure gold, eh? Inserted name Jinkin. Naruto said before Jinkin dispelled. Gamakatsu said, your stage training will commence tomorrow. Let's hope you do, uh, pet, yeah, petrif- yeah, let's hope you don't petrify yourself. He then dispelled, and the trio left for dinner. The next day, Naruto was reverse summoned to Mount Nyabuko and had begun his training in Senjutsu. By the second week, he had become a sage, and by the fourth week, he had returned to Konoha, having mastered the sage art and bonded with Junkin. He also learned how to use Animal Path.
On the last day of the month before the Chunizens finals, when Naruto arrived home, there was a short make-out session before Naruto told her about his training. Yugito reported, I trained in my fire style abilities and cat-related ninjutsu. Also, I smoothed out the flaws of my taijutsu and increased my speed. All in all, great progress. Chunin exams final day. Wake up, sleepyhead. Your pillow is going to become a Chunin, and so are you, Naruto whispered in Yugito's ear as the sunlight reached his eyes. A bit more, the sleepy female blonde groaned. Is that right? Naruto gained a mischievous smile, though it was unnoticed by Yugito. 2 zaps later, and Yugito shot right up, laughing and crying. Stop it, tickles. He smiled, grew lighter. Good to know. After 20 minutes, the couple arrived at the Konoha Stadium. Due to the fact that Geku Hayaku was murdered during the 1 month intervals, Ai Shikoru Kimari will be your new proctor. The first match will be between Hyuga Neji and Uzumaki Naruto. Will the participants please proceed to the observant deck while the two completions come down to the ground? Neji smirked and said, It's time for a battle, Uzumaki-san. Seriously, I will let you choose how you want to be beaten. Death by thunder, fox, toad, animal, or soul extraction. Yugito grinned, understanding what he meant. The crowd was puzzled. Well, Neji replied, I don't wish to choose. Well then, all 5, Naruto said, cracking his knuckles. That is the end of this chapter. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Not guaranteed, but there's a chance of another one later today. Actually, budget memory. I'm kind of curious what happens next, so we're going to keep going. So this might be more than an hour and a half long. Tuning exam finals. Previously, well then, all five, Naruto said, cracking his neck. Looking at both of them, the Sinbon, chewing Gurmur announced, Hajime, Byakugan. So Neji, first death by thunder, Naruto said, tapping his strongest seal. A modified Hirushin kunai appeared, and while the civilians remained dumb, the older shinobi gasped, and the Kage were shocked. In fact, Kazekage was thinking, that seems like the Yodami's brat. How interesting. Neji narrowed his eyes. Well, what will a little modified kunai do? You'll see. Kubyukan kunai kage no bunchu no jutsu. Kunai Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto yelled while scattering his Harushin kunai around the area. Uzumaki-san, you couldn't have poured you couldn't have poorer aim. Neji taunted. Oh, I wasn't aiming for you, Naruto grinned and concentrated on his palm. Haraishin. No, ni no dan. Haraishin, level 2, Naruto shouted, confirming the fear of the Jonin. At a speed even the Byakugan couldn't follow, Naruto disappeared in a yellow flash. In his mindscape, Minato was smiling. His son had surpassed him. The only thought was, what when Naruto replaced the blindside him with a Rasengan? Though he dodged, Neji was still grazed by the surrounding nature chakra. Hiraishin Sun, level 3. Naruto picked up multiple Hiraishin kunai and flung them at Neji. Neji, with his Byakugan, deflected them with his Juken. But those kunai in midair around him were used by Naruto, who teleported around and started attacking, disappearing, reappearing, and attacking again. Let me pause this. Neji stumbled away, coughing blood. I'm not done, Neji, the Hyuga prodigy thought, so he used those blasted kunai to teleport. I'll just avoid them. Death by Fox, Naruto announced, and teleported behind Neji, who was surprised because he was pretty sure there was not a single kunai in his range. Naruto kicked him into the air. His whole body started glowing. Yukito thought, this is new. Black markings spread through his body, and a fire-like layer spread over his body like a coat. Bujio Rasengan, Tailed Beast Rasengan. Naruto jumped up and placed his two hands together. Blue and red chakra orbs gathered with a loud buzzing noise and formed a purple ball. Even though Neji was vulnerable in midair, he thought that Naruto couldn't jump high enough to reach him. Naruto didn't need to. His hands extended like Orochimaru's neck, and plundered the Rasengan into the Hyuga's body. Neji dropped all the way down, forming a crater. When he picked himself up, Naruto's cloak had disappeared. It was replaced by another cloak, an actual one, a red with black flames, trimming and giant scroll on his back. His Byakugan also picked up the fact that around his eyes were orange markings and the irises were yellow with single horizontal bars. Naruto's chakra coil were also greenish, puzzling Neji greatly. The Jonin looked in awe of the sage. I'll show you what it means to be a sage, Naruto shouted, and the Genin just smirked, thinking Naruto was just arrogant by calling himself a sage. Let's go. Death by Toad. Simple Rasengan. Sage Rasengan Barrage. Two energy orbs appeared in his hands. If Neji thought that he knew how fast Naruto was, he was wrong. Like greased lightning, Naruto spread forward and pushed the Rasengan towards his head. Even though Neji dodged further than before, he knew the Rasengan surrounding his chakra could damage him. He had severely underestimated the nature energy until utilized in Sage Mode. Neji was thrown way back, and Naruto took the chance to engage him in Taijutsu with his fist. With the Byakugan, Neji could dodge the strikes, but somehow it felt like he was punched. Kazugu Kumit for karate. This time Naruto flared his Sage chakra, and the greenish chakra coated his limbs, effectively making his palms as the void. After cornering him again against the wall, Neji shouted, Tatsui Frog Strike. He planted his fist into Neji's stomach, sending ripples of nature energy radiating from the contact point. The whole wall behind Neji cracked and would have shattered if it wasn't chakra reinforced, or if Neji wasn't a meat shield for it. Ready to continue, Hyuga-san, Naruto taunted, laugh flipping away. Death by animals, Naruto said, activating his Rinnegan. Give me a second. The Jonin paled the Chunin gasp. While the Genin were surprised to learn that Naruto had a dojutsu, in the Kage booth, the Kazekage licked his lips. Holding the bird hand seal, Naruto shouted, Chikoshodo. An ox and rhino with eyes burst out of the ground and charged Neji. There was also a lobster which fired water cannons at him. Using the ketting, he repelled the water, but failed to evade the charging bull, which knocked him back and dispelled. Neji narrowed his eyes and he ran towards Naruto, but just before he could do a Jinjuken strike, there was a burst of lightning, and a giant panda flew down like a bomb, landing between Neji and Naruto. Neji ended up hitting the panda, which cracked and burst into smoke. Out of the smoke, multiple tigers shot forth towards him up in the air. There a hawk was waiting for him, and made a bloody wound in his forehead. Neji flew down, creating a crater. The animals dispelled, and Naruto was shocked. Death by soul extraction. This is your chance to forfeit. No, I never will. Fate has already decided me the winner, Neji replied. Well, you can take your fate crap and shove it up your ass. Ningado, Naruto answered. His Rinnegan glowed mercilessly. His killing intent caused Neji to choke. While Naruto raised his hand above Neji's head, suddenly Neji's imagination shimmed, replaced his body shape and his soul visible to all. The head started getting sucked into Naruto's hand, and Neji screamed, I forfeit! He forced himself to say, Oh, Naruto released the jutsu, and Neji's soul returned to his body. The image shimmering against to reveal an extracted soul. Neji, the winner by forfeit, is Uzumaki Naruto. The whole crowd erupted into cheers while Naruto returned to his seat next to Yugito. Up in the Kage booth, the Kage discussed, should Neji be promoted? I don't think so. Despite having technique, Neji has poor EQ. As for Naruto, I think he deserves Jonin rank. After all, apart from the Raishin and Rasengan, he is also a Jinchuriki and Sage. After reaching a conclusion, the Kage looked back to the stadium. Next match, Uchiha Sasuke versus Sabuku no Gara. Oh, Sasuke is not here. Turning to the Kage booth, it was revealed that Kazekage wanted to come personally just to see Sasuke's match. Therefore, it was requested by the Kazekage to move the match to the end. Under special circumstances, we have moved the match between Uchiha Sasuke and Sabuku no Gara to the end. Now it's time for the next match. Abarumi Shina versus Sabuka no Kenkuro. German announced. Proctor, I forfeit, Kankuro shouted from his spot in the stands. Ano, in that case, Abarino Shino wins by default. Next match, Nara Shigemaru versus Saburo Time. The crowd was booming. Lack of two matches, and all three most recent ones involved the Sand siblings. Tamari jumped down while Shikamaru remained on his seat. Why do I fight? Why do I have to fight? It's so troublesome, especially a blonde. Hey, did you just insult blondes for that? Shirin Tensei, Naruto shouted, and Shikamaru was sent flying into the stadium grounds. Yugito laughed. He deserved that. Shikamaru growled, what a drag. Hajime! Tamari moved her giant metal fan. Unfolding it, she shouted, Futon, Tamari, wind style sky dragon fan. Swinging her battle fan toward Shikamaru, creating a giant tornado which headed for Shikamaru. He quickly avoided them by hiding in the trees at the end of the ground. Nippuko, Kagimuno Jutsu, a shadow tether tendril shot out of the mini forest heading towards Tamari. She quickly jumped back. After 12 meters, the shadow stopped pursuing her. So your shadow has a limit. Interesting, Tamari said, making where the tendril stopped with a line using a fan. After avoiding Winjutsu for another 5 minutes, Shikamaru extended another shadow tendril. Shikamaru smirked, staying behind the line. Tamari smirked, staying behind the line. Suddenly, the shadow moved further beyond the line. Only her quick reflexes saved her. I got your plan to. I got your plan to pay for time. The longer you drag the match, the lower the sun goes, and the longer the shadow. Well, I just have to get you first, Tamari said. Shikamaru groaned, and Tamari looked at the sign of his plan being revealed. She shouted, Kagono Jutsu! A tornado rippled. It was through the stadium toward Shikamaru. He formed a few hand signs, and his shadow expanded. Severin tendrils shot up from his shadow and covered him like a dome. The vortex passed him harmlessly. He tried again. Kaga no Jutsu. This time his shadow shot further and almost reached her. She jumped back, landing in front of the crater made by Neji. Once again, the shadow stopped. You almost got me, but now you're vulnerable to my attacks because you moved out of the tree. Nippo Kagano Sun Kagimani Sinko. How did you get me? Tamari asked, disbelieving. Look behind you. Shikamaru said, slightly relieved that his jutsu, revealing his jutsu. Tamari turned her head and saw, much to her charge, that the shadow caught her from behind. The Tindri must have entered the crater, and with the extra shadow created by the current, Shikamaru caught her while she was ranting. Naruto Shikamaru forfeited the match. Naruto Shikamaru forfeit the match. Naru Shikamaru forfeited the match. Tamari was forced to repeat, but she was surprised. Why? I'm out of chocolate anyway. Naruto heard him from the stadiums and narrowed his reading on. That lazy ass, he didn't even spend half his chocolate yet. After Yugito found out, she sweat dropped. It appeared that there was no limits to how lazy Shikamaru could get. Winner by forfeit, Sabaku no Tamari no ni Yugito versus Nara Shikamaru. Hajime. He said in such a drag. This is such a drag. Why do I have to fight a woman again? Blondes are troublesome. This is like a rematch of the beginning exams. Shikamaru Yugito commented, stepping onto the arena floor. Nippuku Kagano Jutsu. A long shadow trailed, emerging from his shadow, attempting to catch her. She smirked and backflipped away. She then launched herself forward, much to his surprise, who thought she would keep her distance. He proceeded to try and catch her with his shadow, but with her agility, that was not happening. Shikamaru quickly slipped into the Narclan Shadow style taijutsu, which employed the fast strikes using the momentum of the user. However, he didn't know that Yugito's movement was augmented by Matatabi's chakra. So when he exchanged blows with his hands felt like they were on fire. What the hell? Shikamaru didn't even have to mutter it when she shouted, Mouse Hairball. Contrary to the partisan sounding name, when Yugito spat out the flaming ball of hair, it seemed to multiply like Naruto's shadow clones. They chased him, and when they caught up to him, they exploded, knocking him unconscious immediately. Winner by knockout. Ni Yugito. Last match, Uchiha Sasuke versus Sabunoki Gara. Suddenly there was a disturbance in the air near the spring grounds. Kakashi and Sasuke arrived via Leaf Station. They were late, Kakashi asked. You were, but we decided to move your match to the last, and you were just on time. Gara body flickered with his Shisui. Mother wants your blood, Uchiha. German suddenly and declared, Hajime. Sasuke closed his eyes, repoing them, revealing his three-toed machine gun. Are you ready? Gara asked, and his ground began vibrating, causing the sand to stir around him. You can't beat me. Only Uchiha can beat Uchiha. Sasuke responded arrogantly. That is the end of this episode. Like I think I said earlier, there might be another episode later today. But that's not likely. There's just a chance. So I figured I'd say something now. Hope you all enjoyed, and sorry for all the mispronunciations. But the names of the jutsus in Japanese are kind of confusing. So hope you all have a good day, and if you like the video, like, comment down below, and consider subscribing.